Just just wanted to sort of show you a bit of what sort of some of the things that I do to get things ready for powder coat. The next thing after taking this out of here is the big cleanup. So it's a good opportunity to give the garage a good clean, because I do prefer to grind in my grinding room, because I've got dust extraction in there to suck all the dust out now. Everything's got a nice coat of green over it now, so I've got to take everything out of here and do a big clean, but not a bad thing. But a bit of I suppose a spring clean, even though it's not spring yet. But now getting to the point of the video, this, as I say, the part off the top of the machine, it will be a good part to have done, because it runs all the services. So once I get this part powder coated, it'll go into the same colour as the rest of the machine, that sort of creamy colour, and all the services will be able to run. So I'll be able to bring power and run the hydraulic lines and everything. Then it's pretty much if I can keep going, pretty much a month's worth of work really. And with the onset of COVID-19, we're sort of heading into some heavy restrictions now. So today's our first day of level 4 restrictions, meaning we can't basically go outside unless we really need to. There are some trades and some businesses open. Retail's all closed now. The only thing you can do now is click and collect, as they say, so you can buy everything online now. I'd just sort of add that in there, because I did talk a little bit about it in the last video, if you watched the lathe chuck tip. But it's just, I thought I'd just take you for a quick walk through this one now. So the things that I'm doing mainly is just going through and just making sure it's all, so I'm probably overdoing it, but just going through, and you can probably see a series of tacks along there. So I've just gone along and just put tack wells or little stitch wells along there and just sanded it all up. Same thing along the bottom here. This panel's so I'm looking at the underside of it at the moment. I probably should have explained if you haven't already worked that out. So this is sort of looking inside the cabinet, I suppose, and I'll take you around to the top part shortly, just give you a bit of a quick explanation of how that works. Just going along and, as I say, doing stitch welds along here, just to make sure this is held well. As I say, prior to powder coat, sort of want to get those things knocked over. A little bit of panel beating to do in this area here. You can probably see a few marks in there. I didn't want to go like absolute mirror finish or metal finishing, anything like that, because this will get sandblasted and powder coated. You won't even see any of this part of it. And I'm looking at maybe doing a stainless steel panel for the whole interior here anyway, to cover that anyway. So it's probably just powder coat just to get a cover over it, and I might look at, as I say, doing a stainless steel cover possibly over this as well. I'm not 100% sure. There is a fair few parts that I've changed over to stainless steel inside the actual machining area, sliding panel and things like that, which I'll bring you back on obviously as I'm sort of working my way through, including in as much of that as I can. Probably the other thing that I've probably done, that I'll show you from this side, is I've replaced this section here. Had a huge dent in it at about here, probably something flying off the chuck and hitting it, so it was just easy to cut the whole section out and replace it. Just take you for a quick walk through what's what on this side, for those who are interested. There's another plate that comes in here, so with the hydraulic hoses and so forth come down to the tailstock through this area here. Obviously you can see this slot in this large slot through here. There's a work light to go in here that I still have to buy. Just going through and just giving it a good clean up, just knocking all the dents and so forth out of it. Getting up to this area now, so this is, I suppose, above the spindle motor, in that sort of area. The hydraulic pump and things like that is in this area here. Not much around here. This is sort of more around the sort of like the back of the actual spindle, I suppose, or the actual headstock, I suppose, where the drawer area is. There's not a lot going on through here. There's just some white cables. Just take you around the other side. So things that I've done is just come through and just patched up holes. There was a few additional holes in there for who knows what reason. Maybe they had something running before. And I've just come through and welded up and just cleaned up all those surfaces. So bringing you around the other side. As I've said, this is the sort of cabinet area, so getting back a little bit and sort of show you a little bit. So the section that I've replaced, as I say, is the slide. This is the slide here for the top of the door. So the front of the machine has a door, you know, as with any CNC machine, you've got a door. So this is the actual track area where the door slides backwards and forwards. There's probably not a lot I can probably show you up on that top area. It's just going through and just sort of like just putting little stitch welds through just to tie these panels in. As I say, just getting it ready for powder coat, so none of these things are going to loosen up later. It was welded okay before, but a couple of the welds, the small welds, had let go, so it was an opportunity to do that, as I say, prior to powder coat. Just taking you quickly inside, something that I've added. As I say, not a huge big deal, I just thought I'd show you for those who are interested. I've made this steel frame here out of 30 by 5mm angle, I think it is, just to sort of stiffen this panel, because this one was all beat to shit anyway, and it still sort of see a few little dents and things in it. So we have another actual perspex or whatever goes in here, you know, whatever you want to call it, so clear, just a clear area where the actual light can shine through, obviously, and I'll make up a sort of cowling to go over the top of that as well. Just down to the, I suppose, above the tailstock area, and these channels here basically run the services down, hydraulic on one side, electrical, I'm not too sure, but either anyway, they just drop down through here, down to the actual back of the turret itself, services and things like that, and bringing power up from the transformer. So that hole through there brings the main cables in from the transformer. Each thing's got its area where different things run. So once, as I say, one side will be hydraulics, and another side, another channel would be, or another section would be electrical. There's not a lot I can really show you on there. I just thought I'd show you that because it's probably one of the last things besides the coolant tank that's probably still green. There's a few little pieces, but sort of getting rid of the green. The more green that disappears, that means the closer I'm getting to finishing this. But I just thought I'd just do this as a bit of a video, just to show you a bit of progress of what I do to get things ready, and sort of jump in the middle of pre-powder coat, I suppose you could say. So this will get blasted, as with everything else that I've shown you. It'll all get sandblasted, undercoat, powder coat, and then that top the top coat, that creamy sort of colour, a la the rest of the machine anyway. But there's probably not a lot there. You've got a few points in here where different cables come up from inside the headstock area, so you've got different sizes. Not all of these get used, but there's a few cables and so forth that feed in here. There's two ports here that actually feed into the back of the electrical cabinet. So these actually run all your services coming in from wherever they're coming in from. So anything that needs to run back to the electrical cabinet, and also from the monitor and things like that, and communications and things like that from the from all the sensors and things like that on the machine. Power from the main cables from the transformer and so on will feed in possibly through this hole, I think it is. I can't recall now, but I will bring you along the way of showing you that. So I just wanted to show you, as I say, I wanted to show you that just as part of the build. So the overall length of it's probably around about 2.5 meters. That's pretty much the length of the machine, or 8 feet thereabouts, and it's a good size for my size workshop. It's, as I've mentioned before, it's a 2-axis CNC lathe, which is probably enough. I'd like more, but no matter what you have, it's never going to be enough. So, but anything I need to do above 2-axis, I just do in the CNC mill or the manual mill, whatever it might be. But I just needed a 2-axis lathe just to be able to get the work done that I need to get done. So the thing now is just to take this out of here. Tomorrow morning, take this to powder coat. The rest of the day is pretty much just cleaning up. The rest of the time is now just for the rest of this afternoon. I'm just going to clean up the garage now, so get the my partner's car back so she can put her car back in here. I sort of use my garage for my any of my welding, whether MIG, TIG, or whatever I'm doing. Now I don't do that much stick, but now I do occasionally. So I do that in the garage, and all my machining work gets done in my, obviously, my purpose-built workshop. So, but I'll probably possibly get around to doing a workshop tour possibly one day. We'll see how we go with that one, if there's enough interest there. But otherwise, that'll probably do for the moment anyway. Just one little thing. It's sort of like, as I say, it's sort of like just to finish off, just things like this, going along and just tacking things up. As I say, it was welded well, but I've just come along and clamped all this back down again. There was little gaps along here, so I've just clamped it all up just from being over, just from use over the years. So they're sort of things I just wanted to show you anyway. And we'll sort of, next time you see this, it'll be in that nice creamy colour, which I'm looking forward to. So this one's been probably a last thing to do, I suppose, last main piece to do. The coolant tank is a fairly straightforward one, but this one's a fairly major one to do. There's a lot of work to do, and this will, as I say, supply all the services for the whole machine. So everything's sort of pending on this being mounted up on top, and I'll bring you back for a look at that when I finally get it back on there. Maybe run some services and give you guys another look at it. Otherwise, that'll probably do for now. I just sort of include that one because I haven't done anything on the Mazak mission for a little while, video-wise. I just sort of include you on that anyway, and that'll probably do for the moment. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay, bye for now.